As part of the Netflix event Tadum last weekend, there was news about the long-running hit Stranger Things. The franchise, which is about to enter its 4th season, surprised fans with a new video clip which is quite impressive. You can see a seemingly normal house in which a family of the 1950s moves in. However, the so-called Creel house hardly grants the new residents one peaceful moment. You don't need to be a ghost hunter to notice that something isn't right there. Next, we see scenes that could have been taken from a Conjuring part, as the father seems to have done something terrible. Following a cut, we see the same house only a few years later. In the meantime, it has become an eerie ruin, and we can see some familiar characters from the series taking a closer look at the interior of the property. Finally, we see an ominous-looking grandfather clock and an increasingly gloomy environment that is strongly reminiscent of the shadow world of Stranger Things. Although there's nothing more to be seen in the short clip, we assume that the house will play a crucial role in the upcoming 4th season. A more detailed plot is sadly not yet known either, but we do expect David Harbour to return as Hopper after he was more or less considered gone at the end of the last season. Until next year, we will have to remain patient, as a more precise date has not yet been set for the 4th season, which will comprise a total of 9 episodes. There are very few PlayStation titles that enjoy such a good reputation as The Last of Us series. The game from the talented developer team Naughty Dog tells a gripping and above all emotional story about the ill-matched survivor couple Joel and Ellie. Joel's a grumpy, often very calculating contemporary with a good heart, while Ellie is still a clueless, naive girl at the beginning of the story. Together, they experience all kinds of adventures in a post-apocalyptic world and have to stand their ground not only against human scavengers, but above all against fungus-mutated undead. Now, a picture of the two main characters has appeared, which only depicts them from behind, but which has already caused a lot of excitement due to the extremely high popularity of the two video games. At first glance, this could also be a shot taken straight from the game, but in fact we do see the two actors Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey. Pascal is of course well known as the main actor of the also very popular series The Mandalorian. Ramsey, on the other hand, may be familiar to many from the last season of Game of Thrones, a series in which Pascal also made an impressive appearance. The Last of Us is being produced under the HBO name, while Naughty Dog is actively supporting the production. After all, the fans do not want to be upset with an ordinary copy. Naturally, the content is based on the two previously released games, but the producers also want to deliberately add new elements. Meanwhile, shooting of the first season of The Last of Us is still in full swing, which means that the series might not be released before the end of 2022, if not before 2023. Netflix has been bringing the Witcher franchise to the screens of the world with its own series for nearly 2 years now. The universe, which is largely based on the book series by Andrzej Sapkowski, is without a doubt one of the streaming giant's long-running hits, and now the series is finally set to officially get a 3rd season. After the start of Season 2 is being postponed by a year due to the pandemic, this is some good news at last. 2 freshly released clips of this season are also pleasing the fans, as not only do we get to see Christopher Hivju as Nibelun, but also Geralt's infamous mentor Vesemir for the first time. He is embodied by Kim Bodnia, who joins the cast around Henry Cavill as Geralt, Anya Chalotra as Jennifer, and Freya Allan as Ciri. In addition, the cast will include Cassie Clare as Philippa Eilhart and Adjoa Ando as Mother Neneke. Liz Carr plays Jacob Fenn, Graham McTavish takes on the role of Sigismund Dijkstra, and Chris Fulton embodies the evil mage Rience. So both fans of the books and fans of the at least equally popular game series should have plenty to look forward to with many old familiar characters. Henry Cavill recently revealed in an interview with Entertainment Weekly that he was particularly excited about his character's interaction with Vesemir. Some highlights of the upcoming season are said to lie in Geralt's relationship with his mentor anyway, and of course with his foster daughter Ciri. There's even more news from The Witcher. In addition to the already released spin-off Nightmare of the Wolf, Netflix is also planning a second animated film, which, like the regular Season 3, is still without a release date. As if that weren't enough, fans can also look forward to a spin-off called The Witcher Blood Origin. As you can see, Netflix is not getting tired of constantly producing new content for the very profitable franchise. But for now, fans can look forward to Season 2, which will be released on December 17th, 2021. The upcoming Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is taking shape. The main cast around Jason Momoa as Aquaman and Amber Heard as Mera was already known. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II joins as Black Manta, Patrick Wilson plays Orm, and Dolph Lundgren embodies King Nereus. Fans can now look forward to further first-class additions. As was recently announced, Netflix star India Moore will take on the role of the antagonistic character Karshan, also known as the Shark. This one may be familiar to some from the Green Lantern comics, where she not only possesses telepathic powers but can also emit radioactive emissions. In addition, Clash of the Titans actor Vincent Regan slips into the role of King Atlan, who was once the ruler of Atlantis and already appeared in the first part by means of flashbacks, albeit with a different cast at that time. The last newcomer confirmed is Johnny Zhao. She hasn't really had the chance to gain experience on the big screen yet, but is now expected to play the character Stingray. And what makes it so special is that Stingray is actually not from the comics and embodies a role created solely for this sequel. Last but not least, we are happy to see a returning character from the first part that has not been previously announced. It's Randall Park, whom we already know from the mid-credits scene in the prequel. He plays marine biologist Stephen Shim, who has made a pact with Black Manta. The deal involves Manta taking him to Atlantis in exchange for helping him defeat Aquaman. You can find out the outcome at the end of next year on December 16th, 2022. Last weekend, an animated film about Super Mario Bros. Was announced with great media impact, and it is already in production. This is not a bad move. After all, the bouncing Italian plumber is one of the best-known video game characters around, and just about everyone has warped through pipes and hurled turtle shells at enemies. After the unsuccessful live-action adaptation Super Mario Bros. From 1993, a new screen appearance is badly needed, because what was seen back then elicits either broad laughter or dismissive head-shaking today. So it's all the better that, first, it's an animated movie, and second, that the voice actors are as popular and talented as Mario himself. Marvel star Chris Pratt takes on the lead role, while other roles will feature Anya Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach, Charlie Day as Mario's brother Luigi, and Jack Black as Bowser. Toad will be voiced by Keegan-Michael Key, Seth Rogen will appear as Donkey Kong, and Fred Armisen as Donkey Kong's grandpa, Cranky Kong. Kevin Michael Richardson and Sebastian Maniscalco also appear in supporting roles as Bowser's companions. Of course, this brings up the question of the film's plot. For this, we will have to be patient for a little longer. However, speculation that Peach will be kidnapped by Bowser and Mario and his friends will have to rescue her once again is probably not a bit of a stretch. According to Super Mario creator Shigeru Miyamoto, work on the film is already well underway and has been running smoothly so far. The same studio that is also responsible for the success of the Minions is in charge of the ideal implementation. So, besides the outstanding cast, you can look forward to some first-class animated action. Super Mario Bros. The movie is scheduled for release in the United States on December 21st, 2022. The end of Extraction raised a few questions among viewers. No surprise then that a first teaser for the sequel, Extraction 2, has now been released. The action thriller created by the Russo brothers has been the #1 most watched Netflix original movie for ages, even well ahead of Bird Box, Six Underground, and Army of the Dead. Therefore, a follow-up is not unexpected, and filming is expected to start this fall. In addition to director Sam Hargrave, lead actor Chris Hemsworth is also returning. As you can easily see on Instagram, the 38-year-old is already working out to get fit for his role as a mercenary. The main character, Tala Rake, is not really a couch potato after all. Currently, there is no date for the sequel, so for the time being, we will have to settle for the coming soon shown in the trailer. So, that were the current news about the world of series and films. If you want to keep up to date with the latest news, feel free to subscribe to our channel and click on the notification bell. You can also find a great new movie clip from Venom: Let There Be Carnage on our channel, so make sure to check it out.